Avatars, Aliens, and Self-Actualization within the Matrix, Part 4, Densities, Dimensions, and Planes of Existence, a wisdom teaching from the Intergalactic Alliance of Light Beings, with Canadian psychic medium Tracey Milne. Greetings, friends. Today's message will focus on answering questions about the difference between densities and dimensions, planes of matter and planes of existence, and how they all work in combination to help us throughout our incarnation experience. This holographic universe is composed of grids of instruction sets, morphogenic fields of sounds, colors, and frequencies created by source consciousness, then projected into our awareness by electromagnetic energy at the pre-matter and physical matter level. The hologram is created and linked through a series of plasmatic web networks or multiple layers of grid matrices based on patterns of sacred geometry called creational code language. The human body avatar is akin to a hologram light projector, as your human central nervous system processes electrical impulses transmitted from the DNA code, which further sends neurological transmission to the brain with instruction sets to perceive external aspects of self as separate from self. A person can only experience the levels of multidimensional reality that have been programmed into the base of their soul DNA code and their personal avatar holographic template. Each plane of experience comes with source-created information gathering tools and specific non-physical features that allow your unique GodSpark signature to explore, express, and expand in multiple levels of reality for your conscious awareness to tap into and learn through. However, your natural source-designed human avatar template was intentionally altered and disrupted by Dark Fleet members willing to bend or ignore universal laws like structure, consent, higher will, and honesty to get their own way within the game. This is what is being corrected by you from the ground up. Question: what is the difference between densities and dimensions? And what's the difference between 3D, 4D, and 5D? Let's start with the difference between densities and dimensions. The definition of density is matter resonance, vibration, and consciousness. And the definition of dimension is how consciousness moves through space and time, and space-time. Planes of existence represent the vibrational frequencies you're creating, hosting, and processing between your mental, emotional, spiritual, and physical levels, and how those combinations can affect your choices. Planes of matter represent your physical and metaphysical makeup. Here, the physical planes of existence are represented by the different densities available for an individual experience as soul expansion opportunities. In 3D, level of awareness is defined by dimension of experience. Lessons in 3D are focused on physical experience, where consciousness is developed through interaction with our environment and accumulating wisdom through trial and error, used as learning tools towards achieving mastery in any density of consciousness. Lessons in 4D are focused on balancing polarized thoughts and feelings in order to discover your truths and how to work in cooperation with others while remaining out of judgment. Here, the consciousness begins to explore reality beyond their base 5 physical senses, moving into their 6th sense and extrasensory equipment. Lessons in 5D are focused on mastery of the non-physical aspects of existence, including mastering the use of your intuitive abilities, telepathy, astral travel, clear seeing, hearing, knowing, feeling, empathy, your ability to heal, gain compassion in non-judgment, and an awareness of self as an individual in both physical and non-physical form and function. Within the 3rd dimension of height, width, and depth, and the 4th dimension, where time is linear, the first 3 densities of experience for your conscious evolution exist. All of these planes are felt within your emotional and spiritual bodies, seen with your inner vision or third eye, and translated through your physical expression. All planes, densities, and dimensions are connected to your God spark, and each level is needed to properly function as they work in conjunction with each other for maximum value and activation of your light body and soul skills. Planes, densities, and dimensions are offered for your conscious expansion. The first density is beginningness. Here, physical form is represented in the elements, molecules, water, electricity, and minerals, usually a 2 billion year cycle offering several 100 million incarnations. It varies by consciousness. This is also the density where we as incarnate conscious beings can connect with the heart of Gaia through the Earth Star Chakra, connecting our feet to the planet Earth plane. This is the first galactic gateway used to anchor new frequencies through our body-mind-spirit complex and into the electromagnetic grids and the ley lines of Earth. The second density is growth. Here, physical experience is autonomous and represented by plants and animals. Hundreds of thousands of incarnations are possible. Self-development through interaction with environment usually takes about 4.6 billion years. The third density is self-awareness, where physical life is represented by human beings and other self-aware beings. Here we learn through choices and consequences in a 75,000 year cycle, with incarnations every 100 to 900 years, up to 500 incarnations. The third density of our physical vessel houses the stellar gateways 2 through 8, opening when we connect our conscious processing through our chakra system. Gate 5 in our heart chakra connects us to nature spirits and prepares us to move into the fourth dimension of experience, with a ghost zone between the third and fourth density. The fourth density is unconditional love. Here we master how to love beyond conditions. The molecules behave differently, and the chemical and light body get activated, and spiritual growth is accelerated, usually a 30 million year cycle with up to 100,000 incarnations. Here, another ghost zone exists between the fourth and fifth density. The fifth density is of love, light, and wisdom, and is for mastering service without self-sacrifice, perfecting instant manifestation, and applying light, wisdom with love. Semi-physical or quasi matter, often 20 plus incarnations, density of connection to our higher self, 50 million year cycle, immortal incarnations, with another ghost zone between the fifth and sixth density. The sixth density is for unity, lessons in mastery and application of love and light and wisdom in action, service to others through love, lessons in forgiveness and eternity, physical expression as a body of pure light, 75 million year cycle, another ghost zone between the sixth and seventh density. The seventh density is pure consciousness level, where souls reside as groups or monads. Here one can choose to express as planets and moons. You will find the universal gateways and cosmic gateways that lead to the galactic core of the Milky Way. The eighth density is where consciousness exists as stars and is the last true point of individualism as singularity. The ninth density level is the galactic consciousness level, where we can choose to move back into full group formation and where full ascension beyond individuality happens. The 10th density is where united soul groups and consciousness can come together to form galaxies. The 11th density is the level of the entire universe and return to this state of consciousness that represents a complete lesson cycle, with the 12th density representing the conscious curiosity fields of Source, and the 13th representing the pure, full oneness of Source. Question: what are the planes of existence and how do they differ from the planes of matter within the holographic classroom? These are the planes of existence that were part of the original design for your Earth experience and how they have been altered through Dark Fleet energetic manipulation programs. that created a mental, emotional, spiritual, energetic firewall between your natural soul processing and their soul diminishing agenda. The first plane of existence is the supernal plane, where we are aware of ourself as a soul in a body. The Dark Fleet's opposite program focused us on a finite incarnation, survival, flesh, sex, and pure physical existence only. The second plane of existence is the optimal level of self-acceptance, tainted by Dark Fleet opposite program, feelings of alienation from others, fault-finding and blame, shame, and feeling like you don't fit in. The third plane of experience is in our health, wellness, and physical meat suit. This gets tainted by Dark Fleet opposite programs, leaving us feeling like an outcast in our own community, focusing on disease, social and mental lives, and alienation times 2, rejection of self and others. The fourth plane of experience is the astral or non-physical plane, achieving frequencies that all things are possible, moving from caring about self to caring for the world. This became tainted by the Dark Fleet salvation program, learned helplessness and waiting for a savior. It creates getting caught up in self-judgment, judgment of others, and falling for the domination and submission program. The fifth plane of existence is the causal plane. Here we have an awareness of our responsibility for our energy output, self-care, and full realization that service to self does not work. Knowing you create from both positive and negatively charged feelings, and taking responsibility for smoothing ripples in the non-physical. Tainted by Dark Fleet opposite program encouraging service to self, no thoughts beyond gratification of ego, and disconnect from others around you, self-isolation. The sixth plane of experience is the emotional plane, where the emotional self affects the physical self. Care of self and others through genuine heart and soul expression was tainted by Dark Fleet opposite programs of investiture. Here, a sense of superiority or inferiority must be overcome, and all indoctrination into comparison, struggle, and rejection of self or self-hate must be let go. The seventh plane of existence is the etheric plane, and our ability to recognize light in self and others. Akashic records and memory of previous lives and lessons stay here. Conscious mix of energies. Tainted by Dark Fleet opposite programs of tainted memories, where you work with only limited or false memory implants, keeping those soul memories that only feature suffering, struggle, loss, fear, pain, and victimization, so that you will forget who you really are on a soul level. The eighth plane of existence is the mental plane, or conscious awareness. Self-examination and self-mastery got tainted by Dark Fleet opposite shadow programs of self-esteem lowering functions, self-judgment, and personal set of self-limitations rule here. This shuts down our ability to believe in our own power to effect real change. And the ninth plane of existence is the soul plane, a return to our higher self-conscious awareness. Time does not exist, and physical form does not exist. You know you are a part of Source. Tainted by the Dark Fleet opposite program of God has forgotten you, abandonment, no hope, no light, false light, and no source. Challenging and dismantling all Dark Fleet program delusions with soul truth and unconditional love is the only way to free your body, mind, heart, and soul. And you're doing a fabulous job. Keep up the good work. Question: what happened that changed the natural progression of the original classroom design? To hear the answer to that question and so many more, be sure to tune in to Avatars, Aliens, and Self-Actualization Within the Matrix, Part 5, The Origins of the Game and the Players of the Milky Way Galaxy. Until then, thanks for watching. Brought to you by WhatComesNextForYou.com. Private consultations available. What comes next for you? What's in your future?